Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policy. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region. This was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading lights, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we begin the journey today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on coercion or sanitary conditions. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working on profession, you got to step down and protect your country. So that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And this is where we are now. What happened yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because their star is there. And these are things that we got to be standing to be a patriot. You have to stand first on the side of the law because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, we're going to say you want to be on. We just got to stick to the truth. And that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a noisy country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of the city battles in Komotcha, which was carried out through a court order. How does the administration ensure that such enforcement action is done fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. The government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it. They did it. Is that demolition, removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
Where will George Weah, who is tempted by Joseph Boakai, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stained, you could find him passing around, practically dead and useless. Where will such a man come out? Yet we are vexed that you will stop the work and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land. That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, you are following the place of Moses.
The Liberian National Police commenced Congress for Democratic Change, a discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. A respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This moment is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger when lawful decisions are honored peacefully.
Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived And the worst thing about all these people, they all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah. Ranging from people on the bench of the Supreme Court, they got letters from George Weah. If some of them choose to pay him back with evil, it's up to them. The very Gregory come out today. He worked in the previous administration when Weah came. He also got another letter again. When he chooses to do what he's doing, it's up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure is this is how we are always been molded. That's how God has already molded Weah and put him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That has been his life. How can you make somebody who has been down the line that shame? Person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they can. Whatever people thought were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to proud in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for good image, we are happy in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
As a criminal justice expert, someone who has been when the accused of crime, the same way you should treat how official problem. Why do I say so? When I was Solicitor General, my good friend Weah was senator, and the police came to me with a report, a team led by Sam Sion, for investigation at that time, and said, we are investigating, but Senator Weah named as teacher as a co-conspirator. I said, go and arrest him. I would answer the question. He told me, oh, he's a member of the Senate. Can we write the Senate to excuse him to be arrested? I said, no, there's nothing in the law that says so. He was immediately arrested and put at the back of the pickup, along with other defendants. All suspects of crime must be treated the same way. What is happening now undermines the error in the arrest agenda. It undermines the rule of law. I'm calling upon the police to immediately arrest former Deputy Minister Magdalene Rishu, former Deputy Minister. This is wrong for the mayor who was appointed, nominated, and confirmed by the Senate to protect the young people and the care of youth development to become a threat to the survival of the young people is not anything that the government should do.
More than 3 weeks now. I think the concern is that there's some terrible cause before us doing an arrest. The rape law did not say so. If you go to Monrovia Central Prison, we got almost 351 individuals that were accused of rape, but they never did DNA tests, and they have the people in jail. And some of them still 2 to 3 years now. Our concern is that the police is shooting this man, and we will not sit here as human rights group to see somebody who's lived a 14-year-old government official to go free now. The president addressed the United Nations. And he made it clear that he will protect the rights of women, especially gender-based violence and sexual violence. But the Baka, in good faith, removed this man from office, suspended him, and replaced him immediately. So what the police is waiting for? I met with the Minister of Justice that discussed the same thing, that we should not make the government to look ugly. The state that we are on a non-permanent seat of the United Nations. Then we will play game with children, a child under age 14 years. Government official will rape this girl according to her. And then the police director admitted that the medical report said that they were tampered with. What is going on now is selective justice, and we will not allow that.
The report has come in. There is an indication that yes, indeed, the victim was temporary. And 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 yes, indeed, the victim was temporary. In order for an arrest to happen, you have to establish probable cause. Anytime you hear the police pick up somebody for rape, that means we have to immediately establish that. We have the criminal facet immediately on hand to make the arrest. Also, we have only 48 hours to hold people in mathematical calculation for legal detention Give us 48 hours. This is a delicate investigation. We have to make sure we certify all of the parameters to make sure we have things right. If at any point in time we reach to a point where this thing we need, okay, we got something to charge immediately. Somebody will be arrested. Look, I'm going to take care of a tattoo.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except for correction or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are one of a professional, you have to step down and protect your country. So that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because their star is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up to be a patriot. You have to stand firm on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away, the regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
God Almighty, the creator and sustainer of the universe, who keeps watch over us day and night and order our steps by his provision, in his providential care and saving grace. What a God he is, faithful in all of his ways, never reneging on his promises. He has given us another day to speak truth to power, irrespective of the event, issue, people, but the truth must be told with no fear whatsoever. That way, society gets better, renouncing nothing, compromising nothing, nor compromise, but speaking truth to power. This country is the Republic of Liberia, not the Republic of Joseph Boakai, not the Republic of Unity Party, but the Republic of Liberia, sovereign state. Yes, another day again. So thank you all for placing us on the itinerary. We appreciate everything that you do. So before we get started, again, the box is open, the basket. King Support Basket is open. Keep dropping as always. You have done so much and you continue to do so much. Can appreciate you the more. Keep dropping considerably. You are doing well. We appreciate that. Thank you so much as you can. Whatever you can afford. $10, $5, $20, $15, 500 Liberty, 1,000 liberty, whatever the amount it aids or will be appreciated. They say a little drop fills a bucket. As you drop, there is increment until it reaches the brink of the bucket. You've done well, honestly, you've done well, and you're still doing well. And we want you to continue doing well. The Bible says, never stop doing good. Don't get weary. That's what God said. Never stop doing good. Don't get weary doing good. Weary means feeling weak along the way. No, don't. Just do. And as you do, God sees, God provides. You don't have to only turn to church and you think when you're sowing seed in church that God going to open the wall unto you. He's going to open the heavens unto you. No, God blesses people. As a matter of fact, look at the Bible. You see about 60 to 75 or 80% of the blessing from God to humanity. People who blessed, who took humanity to another level. Just look it up. I just do that exercise for yourself. I beg you. Just do that drill. Drill yourself through. Look at the blessings that God, you will see about 80 to 85% the blessing that God pour out to people who turn to humanity. Many people think when they should go to church, so see in pastor, then God bless them. I'm not saying that you should not. I'm only telling you that God blessing covers humanity, everybody, everywhere, every institution, as well as its edge or protection. So, as much as you can do for us, as much blessing God returns unto you, because the initiative is worthy. It is what God looks at the intent. Whatever you do, Kings 88.5 is doing right. What a venture. So if you sow into Kings FM, God in return blesses you for sowing into Kings FM. So continue, do the best you can as you have done the best, and you can do more than your best. Yes, in goodwill, you can do more than your best. The numbers are on the screen: 0555 885 885 0777 017 885. The local mobile money number 0777 017 885. The send wave, every one of you out of Liberia, 0555 885 885. The name attached to it is Abraham Weah. That is the name attached, Abraham Weah. 0555 885 885. The local mobile money number 0777 017 885. Please drop as much as you can. It will help. Your dollars you've contributed has gone into significant venture towards taking the station to another level. We appreciate you. We thank you. We show a debt of gratitude. We still need you as our partner as we get along. The atmosphere is tense. The battle is raging. The options available to them as well as our options are available to us. We are on top of our game. We know exactly what they want to do to opposition radio stations, what they have started to do, but it's not working as the way they want to work. They want it to work, even though they will say, oh, this is a democratic culture. There is no stifling of the media. It's a free space, but that is only word. Beyond this thing, they are doing a number of things. We are on top of our game. This culture called Liberia and Morovia is small. By the time the feeling thinking and plan, we are aware. So we know exactly what they try to do, what they want to do to opposition radio station. You have to help us. We are battling them, and we need your backing to battle them. The warfare is tense. So keep dropping, I beg you. Keep dropping whatever you can in the basket. 0 555 885 885. That's the same way. The local mobile money number 0 555 717 8017 885. The name attached to it is Abraham Weah. Thank you again, and let's get started. Time is of the essence. Abraham Weah, Zedro, Grand Jita County, you are following from. Moses Sua, Painesville, Mustafa Bangura, Common People's Community, Port Line went town, you said. Musa A. Sharif, Sophie Community, Congo Town, Asata Mela, Red Light, Buakai, Manoba, Duraplast, Jamaica Road, Yassa Sharif, Emmanuel Queer, Bon County, David Dane Town, Stanley Yaka from your, where you did not say, Stephen Fowler Jr., Stanley Boso, Stanley Boso from Congress City, Malu Fofana, 20th Street, Dancing Devil Victor, Broad Street, Nina Kuya, Kumba Yen, Grand Kipman County, Etta Gay, Prince Dogal, Sports Center, that's where Spencer Mohammed, Spencer Mohammed, Wayne Town Community, Evelyn Floquier, United Methodist Campus, Barclay Farm, Habel City. That's good. Hope you're doing well, and the campus is treating you well. Yeah, Evelyn. Papi Esqueita, Dupont Road. Peter One Day, Crown Hill Community, Helena Camara, West Point, Stephen Yakari, Lower Magibi County, Fatu Kone, Magibi County, Gamunta, Mark Thompson, Gaytown, O'Rourke, Michael Gawulo, Dartmouthville, Quebec, Lawrence Harris, Baptist Paul Lee, Johnsonville, okay, Blair Pittman, Freeport, and the names, the protocol so very long. Fifth Kelvin Baptist, Went Town, Tilo Eric, Baptist Seminary Community, Heron T. Toe, Caldwell, Jackson C. Pony Iron Factory, Block C Community, member of Block Titan Intellectual Center, the man himself, the man who controls, who manages, who supervises, who is everything, the melting pot. Block Titan Intellectual Center, Iron Factory, Romary Cole, Kenneth Ball, False Shot, the chairman is on, everlasting chairman. Good to have you on the show. The celebration went well. It was a successful celebration. Great. Prince, that's Patricia Zia from your office, Patience Wisner, Lynch Street, Postman Saul, your business center, Gale Street, Momolu, that's Joan Momolu from your business center, Gale Street, behind water and sewer. Hey, my own begin, back up again. Abraham Kumar, Keke Mag. Since FM on in the beginning, Keke from morning to night. That's great. That's great, Abraham. And we're playing today. The world's greatest team is playing today, FC Barcelona at 7:30. Okay. Thank you all for coming on. I appreciate all of you. Again, please keep dropping. Yeah, we've dropped Keep dropping. Don't stop dropping. Do the best you can. We are complementing each other. Yes, we find ourselves in a terrible time, but that's what life is. They say such a time, such a condition. And when there is such a time and such a condition, then you cope with it. You try to wrap your head around it so that the enemies are defeated. In this case, the government is the enemy. Let's get started. Of Liberia, firstly. Mhm. South Africa's head of Justice and Violence Prevention Program at Crime Hub, Lezeti Lancaster, says public trust in South Africa's police has dropped to 22%. Public trust, public confidence, the people confidence in the police has dropped, prompting the launch of Malanga Commission. This is a special commission intended to investigate corruption. Some of the reasons why there is lack of confidence or a drop in confidence of the police, just as our police here, to investigate corruption, political interference, the same thing. When police arrest somebody, then the call comes from upstairs and say, let our car go, just as you saw with that DEA guy. Oh, I have to get in touch with him. Since we spoke, I've not known his condition. Yeah, I will have to call him. Yeah. Criminality within the justice system, the same thing that happening here. So the lady observed from the investigation conducted, coupled with findings from other institutions and individuals, she reached the conclusion that if it continues this way, it will drop from 22% to 3 or 4%, that the people, South Africans, will have no confidence whatsoever in the police at all. Corruption, widespread with amongst the police. The same thing you see our guys here standing in front keke for $10, $15, liberty, $100. Political interference, when police arrest a vehicle and found there is a violation, somebody calls and say, let that car go. But first, you hear the police, not the police, but the driver will call and say, oh, they arrested the car. Then the person will say, give the phone. Give the phone to the officer. When they give the phone, say, let that car go. Leave it. The only thing you hear from the officer, yes, sir. Political interference. That's what they call political interference. The woman also said criminality is high within the justice system of South Africa.
I think it is really important for the public, and that's why this public display of this inquiry is so important, to see how things work, number one. No trust, levels of trust at the moment is about 22% trust in the police, according to independent surveys. So the bar is super low, and it was never that high. It turned at about 49% in the beginning of the 2000s. When trust was being built and competent people were being put into the police, and we started to see successes. But we sit with this deficit because the police has had a history in apartheid as being such an abusive force. I do think that if some of these recommendations are being implemented and there's real political will to make a change, and I have no reason to believe that the country has no choice at the moment.
Malawi's former president, Peter Mutharika, has been declared the winner of last week's elections in a huge comeback for the 85-year-old. Official results show that he won 57% of the vote compared to the 33% of President Lazarus Chakwera, age 70. Former President Chuck Weah, a pastor before entering politics, conceded defeat ahead of the final result being declared, phoning President-elect Peter Mutharika to congratulate him on his historic win. Peter Mutharika, a former law professor, served as president from 2014 to 2020 when he lost to now defeated President Lazarus Chakwera by a wide margin. President-elect Peter Mutharika inherits an economy that is in deep crisis with severe shortage of fuel and foreign currency in the post-southern African state. Somalia President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud said he is a prime target of the Islamic group Al Shabaab, which is affiliated to Al Qaeda. According to President Mohamud, the militants had tried to assassinate him 5 times in the last 2 years, most recently in March. He insists the group had been weakened. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud also dismissed fears of clashes between Egypt and Ethiopian peacekeepers in Somalia, saying his country would not become a battleground for regional dispute. And U.S. President Donald Trump has called for an investigation into what he described as triple sabotage during his speech at the United Nations General Assembly. The gathering was attended by guests or delegates from around the world, including heads of state. In a letter to United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, Donald Trump pointed to 3 incidents. One, an escalator abruptly stopping as he and First Lady Melania Trump stepped on. Two, a malfunctioning teleprompter. Three, what he claimed was a sound system that was completely cut off during his address. He branded the incidents sinister and absolute sabotage, adding that the United States Secret Service is now involved and that arrests should be followed or will follow. The United Nations reacting said absolutely no evidence of sabotage has been found from their internal investigation, dismissing the 3 claims by US President Donald Trump. So those were events unfolding out of Liberia. The president of Somalia, Sheikh Hassan Mohamud, on assassination attempt. Donald Trump said his microphone was cut off, teleprompter was tampered with, the the automatic stair to go up into the room was tampered with. The Secret Service has been instructed to investigate and arrest should be made. Let's start off with Somalia, not Somalia, Malawi, as we did yesterday, because it has all of the characteristics of our culture today. Where we left 2023 into this time. It's worth sharing because there is absolutely everything to pick up and know that when you see something happen in Liberia, you don't have to readily reach a conclusion prematurely, as if it hasn't happened or it can happen. Now, Here is the first one. Yesterday, we talked about the same thing. Today, I am talking about the comeback. If Peter Mutharika can come back, George Weah can come back. If Donald Trump can return, George Weah can return. Before Donald Trump, there are countries around the world. Leaders served first term. People saw it as impossible to come back, and they came back. That is why you don't look at anybody and say, this person will not come back. This person will never be. George Weah, just as Donald Trump, just as Peter Mutharika will come back. These are signs, these are evidential signs that God used to tell you that he controls the future. He has the hearts and minds of everybody. It would be stupid to look at a person and say, this person can be, this will not happen. That's mental problem. That's dementia. If anybody will look at a person and say, this person will never be president in Liberia again, that person is demonstrating dementia, meaning that person appears normal, but mentally the person is crazy. The person is in a state of psychotic or psychosis. Peter Mutharika, former president, is back in the presidency. When he was out, the people of Malawi, vast portion of the population of Malawi, said he wasn't coming back. The same thing that some people are saying in Liberia today, or let me be specific, Unity Party people are saying, vast majority of the people in Malawi, they said the same thing, that Peter Mutharika wasn't coming back. Under his reign, this happened. The country was like this. The country was like that. Thank you, Charles. Ghana, John Dramani Mahama. John Dramani Mahama. He left the presidency. There were talks of not coming back. Where is he today? He's back in the presidency. Thank you, Charles. He's back in the presidency. Peter Mutharika is back. Donald Trump back. There are several African countries and European countries. So when you sit here and say George Weah is not coming back, you are only showing that you're suffering from dementia. Dementia is a bad mental order. You look normal, but you're not normal. You're abnormal. You're getting crazy. These are things that should tell you that there is a reverse wave around the world, that God is sweeping his change. What is it that has not happened in the world without God? These things, when you see them, they are signs of God. They are the workings of God. Peter Mutharika is back in the presidency. Vast majority of the people of Somalia, they said no. He wasn't going to come back. They went to the ballot box. They voted against him, meaning they resisted his coming back. But they did not have the last say. Just as Unity Party people don't have the last say in this country. Only God in heaven has the future. Only God in heaven knows the future. And that's why it is clearly written in the Bible that no one knows the future except God. Proverbs 27, verse 1. He said, do not boast of the future. Do not brag, do not rant. And then he gave the reason. He said, for you do not know what the morrow will bring. You do not know that the morrow, what it has. Don't boast of the future. Don't look at a person and say, it will not happen. All of the Unity Party people who say that, you know what God does? He allowed them to live to see the re-entry into the presidency of George Weah. That's what God meant when he said in Psalm 23, I will make a table in the presence of your enemy. They will live to see and they will give the testimony. So when people saying these things, you leave them to bring the clown and the stupidity out of themselves. Look at a person and say, George Weah will never come back to the presidency. George Weah will never be president of Liberia. When you say that, you're putting cares on the other side. Democracy is not determined by a specific people or a certain group of people. Democracy is everybody's right to have a say. Peter Mutharika is back. He's back. What did you see? You said that Weah was wrong to concede defeat. He was wrong to have conceded defeat when the final results are not announced. You get it wrong. How can you imagine that your ballot by your talent adding to what is there cannot? Just like in a football game, Barcelona is ahead by 6 goals to 0, as they did against Valencia. With just 3 minutes to go, and you say the coach will still have the urge that in 3 minutes they can score 6 goals on Barcelona and add another. It's not normal. You know that enough. That's why Weah in his concession speech said the remaining ballots, our remaining papers, if they add it to what Unity Party has, we can overcome them. Meaning we can get close, but we will not, our numbers will not be sufficient to surpass. Okay, Gabriel West, thank you so much. Gabriel West, thank you. Gabriel said he sent his contribution. He said, please check the basket, a little token as my contribution. Thank you, Gabriel West. You've always been supportive of us. My dear sister, Orator Sunday Way Choir, thank you so much too. You are very good lady, very kind-hearted. I appreciate you so much. God bless you and everybody for everything that you people have done and continue to do. Hope that you are faring well, Orator, where you are presently. The man conceded with the result. More can't. He called the same thing we did here. He called. Let me read that for you again. Malawi's former president, Peter Mutharika, has been declared the winner of last week's elections in a huge comeback for the 85 years old. All of these people older, far older than George Weah. Official results show that Peter Mutharika won 57% of the vote compared to the 33% of the outgoing president, Lazarus, who is 70 years old. Then what did he do? He considered defeat ahead of the final results. Wasn't it the same in Liberia? When you're saying you people, sorry to say, no disrespect, but you people aren't historically literate enough. You people don't have that experiential knowledge. You just look at things, oh, we are wrong. We are considered too early. What did he? People who call themselves politicians, people who, by their literacy, you expect that they will not stoop so low in the reasoning. And the people who down the line are seeing you people as a role model, how you think they will continue? The current president, the outgoing president, Lazarus, he telephoned the president-elect ahead of the final results to congratulate him on his historic win. What's the difference between what Weah did here and this one and what we see in other countries? That's democracy. Weah was never ever wrong in any one of those things. That's democracy. What it does is it sets the pace for the person to return because it is an unquestionable political credential for re-entry into the presidency. That's what you see. So, former president is back. So, former president Weah will come back. You like it or not, former president. That is a foregone conclusion. Former president Weah will come back. Yesterday, we talked about Bryant McGill. The government think they are smart. Unity Party people think they are smart, but they can keep their smartness. We will continue to highlight it. Bryant McGill is being shielded. They're protecting him or avoiding him going to 10 years in jail. Bryant McGill is accused of raping a 14-year-old girl at the Ministry of Youth and Sport. Investigation is ongoing. They are trying to get a prima facie. We accept everything of the police director, everything he said. Those are reminders. So we accept everything. Thank God he put himself on record that the lady was tampered with, that investigation is ongoing, prima facie is needed. The public can be assured that the case will not be compromised.
We want to reassure the public that nobody, there's absolutely no one in this country who's above the law. Contrary to what people believe, that because this man is a deputy minister, that is the reason why he has not been arrested. It's so far from the truth. As a matter of fact, I hold public officials even with greater accountability for their actions in this country than just ordinary citizens.
Thank you. So Bryant McGill is ongoing. Investigation is ongoing with Bryant McGill. The police director told us that Bryant McGill is cooperating. He said Bryant McGill is cooperating. Admitted that he hasn't been arrested yet, but he's cooperating. So it means that the police is aware. The police knows the day-to-day activity, his movement, whether he's under house arrest or he goes to the police station. He's been escorted by his lawyer. So as far as we know, the police director has Bryant McGill. If Bryant McGill leaves the country, nobody will be held responsible but the police director. And what that would mean is Gregory Coleman will be put on sanction. It means the international community will know that with the acquiescence or with the president of Liberia, Joseph Yeman Boakai, the police had been shielding and discriminating, and strength goes with strength against political opponent. Everything now, everything this case is in the hands of the police director. It borders on his integrity, his personal integrity, his integrity as police director, the integrity of the Liberia National Police. So we're not concerned about the other people involved with this case. Our focus is on Gregory Coleman. Gregory Coleman was the one who gave the press conference, and he said that Bryant McGill is with them. He goes there, he's in this building, and the investigation is ongoing.
This minister is currently in this building. He's sitting with teams answering different questions at this particular point in time. This minister is currently in this building. He's sitting with teams answering different questions at this particular point in time. While it is true that he has not been arrested, but he's undergoing investigation. This minister is currently in this building. He's sitting with teams answering different questions at this particular point in time. while it is true that he has not been arrested, but he's undergoing investigation on a daily basis.
So we accept the disclosure publicly. Thank you, police director, that the girl, according to your preliminary investigation, what was submitted to you by the forensic people or the investigator, the girl was tampered with. And the police director add his emphasis to that when he said, yes, the girl was tampered with.
The report has come in. There is an indication that yes, indeed, the victim was tampered with. There is an indication that yes, indeed, the victim was tampered with. 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 So immediately, prosecutors and the Liberia National Police investigators have been going back and forth. Fortunately, this particular area is covered by CCTV camera, so the investigators are going on the scene to review the footage of the camera to try to corroborate the statement of the victim. We've spoken to the victim, we've spoken to the father, we've spoken to aunties, all of the persons of interest that have been in the investigation, including the suspect. We've brought the suspect in for questioning, taking statements from him at different levels, and the investigation is still ongoing.
Thank you, sir. So we have everything here, Chief. Everything, every day we bring it out every day. So you don't think that because that thing happened to the president's house now, so say yeah, it is a small screen. They will soon forget about this whole rip thing, because I understand the tactics, but it's not going to work. Let's play low with this thing, drag the conversation, meaning the investigation, and other events going to come up, and people going to just forget about this whole thing. So the strategy, part of the strategy, let's replace this man as quickly as we can. And then it will just be saying that he's acting, but he's off. Brian McGill is being shielded. They're protecting him. They don't want him to go to 10 years in jail because the law we have in our country for it is a non-bailable offense. Nobody can secure any bail for you, any bond. You go straight 10 years in jail. The Unity Party person, they don't want that. As much as the people are muted, the Association of Female Lawyers of Liberia is muted. They have said nothing about it because it's President Bouakar's interest. The women group, some of the women groups, majority of the women groups, they are muted because it's President Bouakar's interest. Whatever, we will give that girl justice. We will give her justice. Every day it will be said, Brian McGill can leave this country. Brian McGill leaves by whichever means will be the last thing he will ever want to do. It will be too bad for him. You saw what happened to the lady, Mayama Cisse? It took a while, and they caught her. Interpol is effective and reliable. So you can tell Brian McGill to go anywhere. Brian McGill name all over. Thank God we're in the age of technology. Pictures all over. We're not in the monolithic or stone age that you did not have a photo. Right now, nobody need to say, oh, let's put the person picture up. I think that way back to him. No. You can be in America. You just go and download all the photos of McGill. The next person, just like that, everybody starts sharing. So it becomes a psychological embarrassment. Everywhere he goes, they'll know, and in no time they pick him up and put him in a foreign cell. So if you know what you're playing with, you're fast track, you're hurry up with that investigation and let the man go and sit down in jail for 10 years. If that was an opposition person, long time, you're finished. Less than a day, you're finished. But it would not be. The head of the Independent National Commission on Human Rights. Let's listen to him again.
The rape law is quite different from any other law. It says that any individual is accused of rape, they have to arrest you while you in a detention at South Beach. Investigation will continue. But what we are concerned about is that the conduct of the police. I visited the police station and I was told that the investigating. I asked them, why will you investigate from the 30th of August up to the time more than 3 weeks now?
I think the concern is that to get some probable cause before us doing an arrest.
And the rape law did not say so. If you go to Monrovia Central Prison, we got almost 351 individuals that were accused of rape, but they never did DNA tests, and they have the people in jail, and some of them stay 2 to 3 years now. And our concern is that the police is cheating this man, and we will not sit here as human rights group to see somebody who's raped a 14-year-old girl, a government official, to go free. Now, the president addressed the United Nations, and he made it clear that he will protect the rights of women, especially gender-based violence and sexual violence. President Barker, in good faith, remove this man from office, suspended him, and replace him immediately. So what the police is waiting for? I met with the Minister of Justice that discussed the same thing, that we should not make the government to look ugly. The state, Liberia, we are on the non-permanent seat of the United Nations. Then we will play game with children, a child under age, 14 years, government official, rape this girl according to her. And then the police director admitted that the medical report said that the girl was tampered with. What is going on now is selective justice, and we will not allow that. And I know about President Barker will not allow selective justice. So those that are responsible, that shitty McGill, will be dealt with as a keeping with law. We have to go to court where now we're preparing a madam to go to the Supreme Court to compel Gregory Coleman to turn the young man over to the police.
Do you think the petition for the madam was loud in this matter?
Oh, I mean, the law is the law. So why is it the one man, they can't carry the man to jail? Who is he? Is he God? This is our concern as somebody else's child. They say the girl is declining because she cries every day. What is the problem?
So your concern is that the deputy minister should be arrested, and what investigation is ongoing?
He must be arrested. What happened to the others must happen to him. The Unity Party came to power to rescue us, but there are people around the president that destroy his administration.
Sure, this
I'm definitely telling you.
That is a grave allegation.
That's not a great allegation. We signed a performance agreement with the executive mansion, and that agreement says that we must perform as a keeping with our function under the statute that created our institution. I continue to say that there are people who signed a performance agreement, they are not operating correctly, and they are destroying the image of this government. To be frank, I'm not hiding anything for anybody. I'm not afraid of anybody. They are destroying Barker's legacy.
Constitutional lawyer, Tiawan Gonglo.
As a criminal justice expert, someone who has been a solicitor general and has been teaching criminal law for years, teaching at the police academy, I am so angry this morning to hear that Deputy Minister McGill, the man who was accused of raping a 14-year-old girl, is passing up and down the street. He should be in the police cell, that he are not being arrested. We cannot have selective justice. Article 11C of the Constitution calls for equal protection. The same way you treat people from West Point, Soniwan, or Vubadi in Sino when they are accused of crime, the same way you should treat high official of government. Why do I say so? When I was Solicitor General and my good friend Roland Khan was senator, and the police came to me with a report, a team led by Sam Sion, chief of investigation at that time, and said, we are investigating, but Senator Roland Khan's name has featured as a co-conspirator. I said, go and arrest him. I will answer the question. They told me, oh, he's a member of the Senate. Can we write the Senate to excuse him to be arrested? I said, no, there's nothing in the law that says so. He was immediately arrested and put at the back of the pickup, handcuffed along with other defendants. All suspects of crime must be treated the same way. What is happening now undermines the error in the arrest agenda. It undermines the rule of law. I'm calling upon the police to immediately arrest former Deputy Minister McGill. He should be former Deputy Minister. This is wrong for a mayor who was appointed, nominated, and confirmed by the Senate to protect the young people and to carry on youth development to become a threat to the survival of the young people is not anything that the government should take lightly. I'm calling upon President Barker to tell the police director to move speedily, because these are the things that can make the police disrespected in the communities. The whole country is watching. If this high official of government is not treated like they can treat anyone who is unknown, suspected of statutory rape, the next time police go somewhere to arrest someone who is not of the same stature, the people will resist. But when a big man is treated in the same way a small person will be treated on suspicion of committing crime, police don't have much work to do. The people tend to cooperate, have trust in the police. So I'm calling upon the police director to immediately get on this. I have credibility to say this. I've been Solicitor General. I'm a criminal law professor. There is no justification for this man being out right now. I'm calling upon all actors in government, even members of the civil society, let us push the pressure to make sure that the victim gets justice.
He would not go with impunity. No. The president said no business as usual. Well, if he understood his own expression, no business as usual, it means compromising nothing. Even when it involves your own, you have to do the needful so that it sends a clear deterrent to the rest of the people. So Brian McGill has been cheated. They don't want him to go to jail for those number of years. We are waiting. Every day we remind the public. The police director is on record. He said the lady, the girl, was tampered with. Brian McGill is in their domain. The public can rest assured that they will do everything they can. They stay gathering prima facie. We're waiting with patience. Next door, the Lutheran Church, the uneasiness within the Lutheran Church, not the church itself having the problem, but the head of the church. Some of what we've been talking from pastoral perspective or from a stakeholder perspective, you see it now. You think that we talk nonsense, but we talk real sense for now and the future. The Lutheran Church in Liberia has backed its bishop, Victor Patmo, after he was indicted by the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission on financial irregularity at Lofa County University. The church said Bishop Patmo would no doubt submit to the judicial process to clear his name. The Lutheran Church reaffirms its dedication to accountability, transparency, and the rule of law, while calling for speedy adjudication to ensure that all the accused persons get due process. According to the Secretary General of the church, Victor Duekedor, Lutheran Church Liberia calls for judicial process to run its course so that their bishop, Victor Patmo, and all other accused persons can go through the legal system and those found culpable be held accountable. The Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission indictment comes from an investigation which uncovered alleged financial irregularity of approximately 410,000 United States dollars and 13.3 million Liberian dollars at Lofa County University. On September 2nd this year, the 10th Judicial Circuit Court in Lofa County indicted Dr. Isaac Poda, president of Lofa County University, former president Dr. Samuel Ngama, and several senior officials, including Bishop Victor Patmo, against or over alleged misconduct. As pastor, this is what you want to avoid. It is not wrong. No, it is not wrong to help your country by taking up role. But you want to be cautious and discerning of the kind of position you assume. The pastor like the broadcaster, talk show host, can help his or her country by making the best or most of the pulpit to speak out than getting fully involved. Leaving your office, your pastoral office, and getting fully involved. Not only are you compromised, but be prepared to accept everything that goes along with that office. Public disgrace, accusation, jailing, and every other thing. At this point, it is not about sympathy. Assume that these guys are found guilty and the law requires or calls for restitution or jailing. It depends on the nature. It can be a restitution. That means the law will tell you to pay back that money. If the provision does not call for restitution, jailing, say if the law says 6 months or 1 year, then Bishop Padmore and his colleagues will go to jail for 1 year. The bishop will go to jail for 1 year. After the 1 year, he comes out. When we're telling you, you say, oh, listen, it's not because that statement you're going to use, you say, oh, when the righteous rule, the nation perish, the nation prosper. When the unrighteous rule, who told you that really what it means? Or probably that's how you understand it. You don't have to get involved. A pastor don't have to get involved in the mainstream of politics. But the pastor can use his pulpit to change the course of action. You see us? We're not going around getting involved, getting in a position. And we said right here, how many? We have thousands of millions of people listening and watching us at once. What are we doing? We're changing the course of event. There are things the government hear and say, oh, look, we got to stop this. We got to do it this way. Let it not hit the media. When these talk show hosts get hold of this, this is what it's going to be for us. So you see, you stay right here. We said where you can sit one place by the power that you have and change. You don't have to get fully involved. You cannot serve with divided opinion. You cannot be the bishop of a large congregation and then you are involved with government activities. So his name now is in the public, in a political context, not religious, that he's been accused. And the accusation borders on money. That's what they call financial impropriety, meaning misuse of money. Put it simply way, the pastor is accused of stealing. So you understand it in a simple way. The way I just talked about it, a similar way. It's a financial impropriety, it is alleged. But that financial something, they find out that money. So simply put, they say the pastor and the other people, they are accused of stealing money. Bishop Padmore. So his name is in the media. It's all over. And that can take away members from the church. Even his opponents in the church, especially when they are going for, I'm not saying that I don't know that, but let's assume they're going for a convention to elect a new bishop and he wants to retain his position. That could be a weapon against him by those who want to get him out. That will be doing it for that. Let's get to. So the lady who almost killed the LMP officer, Zainab Bar, the case got on today, and she said she can't speak English. So the judge, her lawyer requested for an interpreter, and the judge granted that and ordered the uh, prosecuting lawyer, defense lawyer said no. It is a characteristics of unfair trial, preferential treatment, not to show that this woman doesn't speak English. All of the time she been in that community, the length of time, how she been communicating? And if she doesn't speak English, then how did she get to Liberia? Who is she? Alien or Liberian? A typical Liberian staying here for all those years speaks English. You may not be fluent, but you understand English. How come now Zainab cannot speak English? And anyway, the judge, they are the experts in that area. So he granted the request for an interpreter. But the defense saw it another way around. Okay. So where do we go? The next pointer as quickly as we can, then we are out for today. The next pointer, where is it? This. Here's the next one on the same thing. Another pastor, oh, come on. Another pastor, hold on, my man, hold on, is being accused of taking money from people to giving them the assurance that he can take them out of the country for a good life. I think he was in the media before. He was in the news. He's called Pastor Greatness. And these individuals are now raising serious concern about what he told them, how he cajoled them of getting a good life. Let's have a listen to these gentlemen.
Pastor David Witness and Mr. Musa Kamara, who happens to be a philanthropist.
Okay, we get there. We get there. Let me get it right so that you understand them very clear. Very clear. I want you to understand it good. Okay, we get there. Where is the government man? But before that, let's go this way. Let's go this way before. Ah, yes. Let's go this way. LIB political culture. So before we get to the next,
to be passing around looking for money for Joe Parker. And one know the bigger, the real beggar this year, January 21, 2022. I apologize, Henry, but I'm doing a lot of consultation as regards our separation with the CPP. If possible, let's talk tonight. I said, okay, uncle, I'll be expecting your call. You see him talking about the separation? Some of you are making it look like it was we who just decided to separate from the CPP. It was Joseph Boakai's idea for us to leave, and we did it. See me here. I sent him another. I said, then he said, good. Then I wrote him back. I said, and I have raised 1,500 USD for your visit to Redemption Hospital to visit with the survivors of the Stampede. That was when that pastor had the crusade on the field, D12 field, and people died. Abraham Kroma, right? Raised 1,500 US and sent it to Joe Boakai for him to go and identify with the people. See why he wrote to me after I told him about the 1,500 US? You mean so much to me that I can never disappoint you. He said, you mean so much to me that I can never. You see, I wrote him, I said, look, Uncle, the cash is in Liberia. My guy will deliver it to you tomorrow. He is my vice chairman for operations of the COP. He is Anthony Tengbe. This is the man that took the money to Joseph Boakai to go to redemption. Just to go to redemption, we had to raise money to give to him. I will show you more. This is the real beggar. So Joseph Human Boakai, February 25, 2023. I said, good evening, Uncle Joe. Jake sent me a draft press statement prepared for you on the tragic attack on former Chief Justice Gloria Scott. I think it's a good idea. I'm deeply concerned and sorry for her loss and terrible misfortune. I have arranged something to help facilitate the press conference. Just to pay for press conference, that mean. Then he wrote me, are you sending the amount to Jake? Oh, when it comes to money, he ain't wanted to go to his nephew, Jake. I said, yes, Uncle. Since he's the one who's going to be coordinating, it's not a lot, just 1K. That means 1,000 US dollars. Then he writes, Joe Boakai writes, listen to what he wrote me. Too much of bothering you with small issues like these. I said, don't worry, Uncle, it's all good. Just focus on leading us while we work from behind to support. He said, let me know how much. I said, 1K, just $1,000 for the press conference. Every little thing, left and right, he would either call or his people would call. When Joseph Boakai returned from the United States after his medical trip, February 13, 2023, you all were saying, but Costa wants to pay up to go Ghana, This is Boakai writing me. February 13, 2023, he wrote me, thanks, Henry. Are we still on course? We're returning to Accra next week. We have not heard nothing so far. You see that? Boakai was harassing me about going to Accra for something you all were pretending that he was not interested in, that I was setting him up for. When Boakai arrived in Liberia, this is what Boakai wrote me, February 14, 2023. Henry, we are back. Thousands at the airport and at the house. I don't know how to thank you. You are God sent to me and Liberia. What did I write him back? I said, I am honored to be a part of this noble rescue mission. This is when he met with Prince Johnson, and our friends were complaining about it. Hold on, you want to see more? When Boakai was returning from the States to Accra, we had to get a place for him called Embassy Gardens. That's where he stayed for a few days. I had to send this money to his son, Jojo Boakai. February 6, 2023, 1,400 US dollars. And I sent him the screenshot to let him know. I said, it has been handled. This was to pay for the place that Boakai was staying in Accra for 2 days. And the vehicle that he was going to be using, 1,400 US. The briefcase that he has here, this is the briefcase. It's a burgundy briefcase, $399 US. I bought it off of Amazon. That's it right there. $399. I will show you more. There's a Joseph Boakai again. He wrote me here, October 10, 2022. See what he wrote me. He said to me, this is 10K for the 3 counties. He asked me for $10,000 to visit Bapolu, Bomi, and Cape Mount counties. Those 3 counties, 10,000 US. On June 8, 2022, Boakai wrote me again. Hi, Henry. Lofa trip will cost me around minimum 15K, but it is necessary. Please advise. He's asking me here for 15,000 US dollars to go to Lofa. You see in the proof. I will show you who the real old man beggar is. On April 22, 2023, Joseph Boakai wrote me this. Again, you see it from the top there, JMB. He wrote me, I'm showing the evidence. For those of you on radio, listening to thousands of you, I'm showing the evidence on Facebook for people to read. I'm not showing screenshots. I'm showing actual messages between Boakai and myself. He wrote me, Henry, please urgently find me 5K to respond to urgent demand between now and Sunday. April 22nd was a Friday. Boakai was asking me to find $5,000 between Friday to Sunday. 5K. I said, okay, uncle, I will make some calls. Then he's telling me the purpose of the money. Let me read it for you again. He said, thanks. It is about the fast month, bishop consecration, and many more. Even Sierra Leone Independence Day he asked me to find money to give to Sierra Leone to celebrate the independence. What was the significance of that? Then he's harassing me here Sunday morning. Henry, I have left for the program now, but I should be back by 12 to 1 o'clock. I said, no problem. I said, sorry, my guy returned late from Banga. He will come to you at 1 p.m. to deliver the 5K. Look here. Then when he finally received the money, he wrote me. He said, the eagle has landed. Thanks a million, my dependable nephew. I said, you are welcome, my dearest uncle. You see that? What? The eagle. What eagle was he talking about? The $5,000 that he asked me for from Friday to Sunday, it was delivered to him by 2 p.m. on Sunday. $5,000. I sent it to the person came from Banga. Sylvester Terrace now collected the 5K and took it to Joseph Human Boakai. I was all over the place begging for money to take care of Joseph Boakai, left and right. Then the $2,500 that we raised to pay George Weah his money back, we sent it to Joseph Boakai. Joseph Boakai, what did he do with the $2,500? He never returned the $2,500. Ego was he talking about? The $5,000 that he asked me for from Friday to Sunday, it was delivered to him by 2 p.m. on Sunday. $5,000. I sent it to the person came from Bangla. Sylvester Terrace now collected the 5K and took it to Joseph Human Boakai. I was all over the place begging for money to take care of Joseph Boakai, left and right. Then the $2,500 that we raised to pay George Weah his money back, we sent it to Joseph Boakai. Joseph Boakai, what did he do with the $2,500? He never returned the $2,500. He ate the $2,500 US. I come and show you more. So you will see more how Joseph Boakai used to harass me. Oh, Henry, can you find me 20K? Oh, Henry, can you find me 10K? Oh, Henry. Let me show you the proof. When Stanton Weatherspoon went to have his issue and the monthly support of 3,000, which were coming from his end, stopped coming, Joseph Boakai wrote me this message on March 7th.
Thank you very much for the understanding. We have to make some kind of adjustment behind the scene that what it's all about. It's a radio, it's for the year. So thank you for the understanding. You're watching and listening. Real Talk on Kings 88.5 with me, Sam Andrews. Let's move now to what I was going to before we had to pause to take that adjustment. So you are aware of what unfolded yesterday at the headquarters, not the headquarters, sorry, the former president's residence, George Manning Weah, which sparked reactions not only from Liberia, but other parts of the world. But we start in Liberia. Veteran Liberian journalist Gibson Jeru said that as far as he's concerned, not imputing sentiment into it, he does not go with any one of those things that people had been saying that the fire service came out with and other people. As far as he knows, he said it was a deliberate attempt to assassinate, put it simply, to kill George Weah. That's what he said. And he placed it squarely at Unity Party. He said, Unity Party wants to kill George Weah. That what unfolded at the president's residence, it is nothing of what they are putting out, but a deliberate attempt, yet failed. That's what veteran Liberian journalist Gibson Jeru said.
This government assigned security to the former president's house. This government is capable of bribing any of its security to plan any evil in the former president's house. This government has done so many things that have questioned the credibility of the president. They have manipulated the law. They have manipulated security. The president has interfered with investigations of other issues we know of. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example. If a former president, the police should go there to verify. Let them come out and say that fire incident is a lie. Have they gone there? What happened to President Weah's house? It is not party chairman house. It is not speaker house. It's not NSA director house. It is the house of the man who was just the chief executive of the country. It is the house of the man who was just president of the Republic of Liberia. We are talking about someone who held the mantle of the country. That's the person we are talking about here. It is not just any obscure person. But in fact, I believe that our United Party is responsible for this. I think the statement issued by CDC is very weak. And I think they need to beef up that statement. It needs to be augmented to be more pointed towards the government. Since George Weah left power, there have been antagonism against him. Let's talk about the airport. His own VIP launch that he made, that he renovated, that he built of Joseph Boakai refused to let him in there. This man is returning to the country, and the police have the audacity. The police have the audacity, without any iota of respect, to fire shots. This man is on a threat. And let me just tell you something. Why are you on a threat? The United Party and this government knows that George Weah is going to be president again. They know that he is the man who has the mantle for the largest and the most fundamentally rooted political party in the country. So by eliminating his life, they know that CDC will go in obscurity. So there are so many reasons why anybody can believe that the government has hands in this thing. This man was president. The issues concerning this man should be priority number one. And that is the kind of posture our government should have. It's not somebody who you can just beat by the hand or just, wipe your nose. This government assigned security to the former president's house. This government is capable of bribing any of its security to plan any evil in the former president's house. Government is capable of bribing any of its security to plan any evil in the former president's house. This government is capable of bribing any of its security to plan any evil in the former president's house. This government is capable of bribing any of its security to plan any evil in the former president's house. This government is capable of bribing any of its security to plan any evil in the former president's house. This government is capable of bribing any of its security to plan any evil in the former president's house. This government is capable of bribing any of its security to plan any evil in the former president's house. This government has done so many things that have questioned the credibility of the president. They have manipulated the law. They have manipulated security. The president has interfered with investigations of other issues that we know of. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Of other issues that we know of. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Know of. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example. If a former president, the police should go there to verify. Let them come on and say that fire incident is a lie. Have they gone there? What happened to President Weah house? It is not party chairman house. It is not speaker house. It's not NSA director house. It is the house of a man who was just the chief executive of the country. It is the house of the man who was just president of the Republic of Liberia. We are talking about someone who held the mantle of the country. That's the person we are talking about here. It is not just any obscure person. But in fact, I believe that our United Party is responsible for this. I think but in fact, I believe that our United Party is responsible for this. But in fact, I believe that our United Party is responsible for this. But in fact, I believe that our United Party is responsible for this. But in fact, I believe that our United Party is responsible for this. But in fact, I believe that our United Party is responsible for this. But in fact, I believe that our United Party is responsible for this. But in fact, I believe that our United Party is responsible for this. But in fact, I believe that our United Party is responsible for this. But in fact, I believe that our United Party is responsible for this. I think the statement issued by CDC is very weak, and I think they need to beef up that statement. It needs to be augmented to be more pointed towards the government. Since George Weah left power, there have been antagonism against him. Let's talk about the airport. The own VIP launch that he made, that he renovated, that he built, of Joseph Boyka refused to let him in there. This man is returning to the country, and the police have the audacity. The police have the audacity, without any iota of respect, to fire shots. This man is on a threat. And let me just tell you something. Why are you on a threat? Shots. This man is under threat. And let me just tell you something. What shots? This man is under threat. And let me just tell you something. Under threat. And let me just tell you something. What? This man is under threat. And let me just tell you something. What shots? This man is under threat. This man is under threat. And this man is under threat. And this man is under threat. And this man is under threat. This man is under threat. This man is under threat. And this man is under threat. And this man is under threat. And let me just tell you something. Why are you under threat? The Unity Party and this government knows that George Weah is going to be president again. They know that he is the man who has the mantle for the largest and the most fundamentally rooted political party in the country. Unity Party and this government knows that George Weah is going to be president again. The Unity Party and this government knows that George Weah is going to be president again. Party and this government knows that George Weah is going to be president again. But the Unity Party and this government knows that George Weah is going to be president again. But the Unity Party and this government knows that George Weah is going to be president again. But the Unity Party and this government knows that George Weah is going to be president again. They know that he is the man who has the mantle for the largest and the most fundamentally rooted political party in the country. So by eliminating his life, they know that CDC will go in obscurity. Totally rooted political party in the country. So by eliminating his life, they know that CDC will go in obscurity. So by eliminating his life, they know that CDC will go in obscurity. So by eliminating his life, they know that CDC will go in obscurity. So by eliminating his life, they know that CDC will go in obscurity. So by eliminating his life, they know that CDC will go in obscurity. So by eliminating his life, they know that CDC will go in obscurity. So there are so many reasons why anybody can believe that the government has hands in this thing. This man was president. The issues concerning this man should be priority number one. And that is the kind of posture our government should have. It's not somebody who you can just beat by the hand or just, wipe your nose.
Veteran Liberian journalist Gibson Jeru with his analysis of the event that unfolded yesterday, and many are raising concerns, just like Gibson Jeru, that this has not happened in the history of Liberia before. It hasn't. From 1822 to 1847, all the way up to 2023, the coming in of Joseph Yuma Boakai, the country is experiencing this. The reaction from around the world is so strong. People are afraid that George Weah might likely be killed. Very shortly after the government reaction, you get to know the reaction from outside. As soon as it came out yesterday, it flooded most part of the international community. I told you that BBC, it was one of the lead stories on BBC that former Liberian President George Weah House got set ablaze, and the party accused the ruling establishment of being behind. That's how BBC carried it, and other networks, they started to discuss it here and there. Let's go to the government spokesperson, the deputy spokesperson, not the information minister himself, but his deputy, Daniel Sando, with the government's reaction, dismissing.
On the life of the former president, and that it was a deliberate calculation by people believed to be government. As a government, we consider those allegations sweeping, will not respond to it. What we want to hold the former president to is the fact that the government entity that is responsible for fighting fire responded to his call, and that after the fire was extinguished, they were denied access to the scene to continue the investigation. Now, if you have your house and fire on your roof, you call the fire service, they went there, help you to extinguish the fire, and the next day they are stopped from entering because, according to you, you got reason to believe that the fire was set up by people who in the government or people from the Unity Party. It's up to you. But we just say that it's unfortunate that the former president is not leading by example. Luther Tappe, the current chairman of the Unity Party, his home was gutted by fire during the...
Yeah, please listen. The man about to put out their stupor and insensitivity and give credence to what people are saying that the government knows about it. You see, the guys at the information ministry, they speak English, but they do not comprehend. They do not analyze well before they come to face the microphone and camera. Listen to his analogy.
Election, the campaign. He didn't stop the firefighters. What have they got to do with the politics of the country? These are people that are walking into the fire to save lives every day. And you try to politicize their work. That is not leadership on the part of the former president. It's not leadership. And we can only hope that the former president comes to the realization that he's accountable to the people who support him. When you try to play politics with everything, he's also accountable to the Liberian public, even those who don't support him. So his action now will make others to believe that this thing, it was all makeup, it was a sham to create an impression that you're being haunted. Only one thing can establish a cause of the fire: the investigation. The head of the NSA house, General Prince Johnson, was caught by fire in Pinsville. So should we say that, oh, the opposition people go show soon, petrol bomb to the house, you can't do that. It's just unimaginable. So many thanks to the fire service team. They've done their part. And every question that now lingers on the mind of the public will be directed to the former president, because it is his house, his private residence. Maybe there are reasons why he doesn't want the investigation to continue. Because if it continues, it will either determine that the fire was started by somebody deliberate action. But I do believe to prevent future fire outbreak, they have to investigate. But now they are being stopped. I'm hoping that they can call them back to continue the investigation. I just thought to say that because a lot of questions was being raised about what the fire service were doing and everything. And for us, as a spoke entity of the government, we are accountable to the public to provide answer to these issues.
The government deputy spokesperson, Daniel Sandel, with his government rant. To put this in context, the first thing, he lied. He lied. There has been no dismissal of any investigation. The party did issue a statement on yesterday calling for investigation. The party did issue a statement. He is aware of that statement. They have it. CDC was very clear. Very clear. Here is the 5th paragraph. It is mentioned in the 5th paragraph of CDC statement. We wish to assure the public that His Excellency, former President George Weah, is safe, well, and in good health. However, we call for a forensic, international, an independent investigation into this incident, one that is void of lies, deception, and fakery, to ensure that the truth is revealed and justice is served. The deputy minister lied. The incident is open for investigation. What would not be accepted? You cannot invite an accused to do an investigation. Secondly, if you were at the Ministry of Information, Daniel Sando countenance changed. He's confused. He's checking words. He's taking his time. He's not flowing to talk, unlike in previous addresses that he will flow like somebody singing or a water flowing down the river. He's making intermittent stops in his address. At one point in time, he paused, like someone is thinking what to say. These are signs of not clear conscience, guilt. Then he said, why the people, why they don't want to allow. The people went there, yes, they put the fire off. That's emergency right there. You can put fire off. It doesn't say that you are capable of investigating. The very government did not trust its own investigators. They disregarded them, disregarded the fire service, saw the fire service as unprofessional, inept. They brought in forensic investigators from outside to determine the cause of fire at the Capitol building. Did they entrust that with the fire service? No. The fire service was marginalized in everything, down to addressing the media. Wasua Balfour, who is the head of Liberia National Fire Service, was never given 2 minutes to say anything to the public. He was pushed aside. Fire service was regarded as unprofessional, as only people to put fire off, but not fire investigators. So Daniel Sando, ask yourself now, the question goes back to you. Why you didn't entrust the fire service to do the investigation at the Capitol building? Instead, Gregory Coleman went and brought forensic investigators, quote unquote, from outside. You see the irony? Now you're attributing the same to the former president. The people cannot entrust the government with anything. Who in the normal self will entrust the government that have been battling the former president, intimidating him, harassing him, doing all manner of things? And you expect that the same people, you entrust your life with the same people? It's not normal. Nobody around the world can do that. If he ever did that, God in heaven himself will get vexed and say, come on. Accountability? No, there is nothing in this situation about accountability. We are owed no accountability to nobody, to absolutely misuse of the word accountable. The government is not accountable to its own people. We can go on digging out the ironies. The government itself, deputy spokesman, is not accountable to the people. The president isn't accountable to the people. There is a breach of all of the laws, blatant disregard whatsoever. All of us in this country, we know, we see. The government is not accountable to the people. If you think speck is in your brother's eye, you want him to take it off, God said, firstly, check yours. Then, if you have no speck in your eye, then you can accuse another person. How would somebody, how you can sense that truly the guys actually, they know something about it. He said it was a makeup. How can somebody endanger their life with a makeup? How can somebody intentionally set his house ablaze with him inside, which endangers his life, which is a risk not far from death? For what? How is it a sham? What has it got to do with the NSA boss house? So you see, they are giving clue. The NSA boss house got a fire. Simply put, as far we know, that CDC people did it. So George Weah house on fire, no problem. Send a higher warning, let's take it now. It will be fire to fire, house to house burning. That a new war. We are called for, the party in a statement called for investigation. It is onto the person. The call for investigation, forensic investigation. You have nothing here. You think the people stupid? Oh, come on. You're at the Ministry of Information. You have to look at your education you claim to have earned. You got nothing absolutely. It is because you are depleted scientifically that you brought people from outside to do scientific investigation. And you expect that CDC people surrounding George Weah who are highly educated will stoop so low like the government people? You have absolutely nothing whatsoever to determine. Nothing scientific you have. Look what you're doing with the Anson case. You go, you pick up one bottle from the sidewalk, you say you carry to FPRC lab, FPRC lab say, yeah, it's smelling with gas. So that the people burn the Capitol building. That's your own scientific thing. That I think you won't care to the mayor. They're not disrespecting you. They're not avoiding you, rather. They're only saying, please, you don't have the capacity. You don't have the men who are schooled, trained in firefighting and fire investigation. You don't have anything whatsoever. And the party is not saying, if you look at the party statement, they're not saying government bring in people. No. They're not saying government bring in people. They're private residence. Is that government institution? They're only telling you that you want to investigate. They're saying it's not bad. We appreciate your effort that you want to make. We thank you for it. However, you do not have the capacity scientifically to determine the cause of the fire, because if we allow it, you will only come and just walk around and say we're investigating or we're going to come out that way, you will be on hold. You won't get nothing at that place. Your role in Liberia is when a building is burning, you're going to pull it off that all. That's what you're known for. So what is there now that you're getting vexed? You don't have the capacity. That is not a crime. You shouldn't feel offended. You don't have it. When you don't have the capacity, it doesn't mean that you do not exist. You exist, but you just don't have the capacity that they will entrust you with a huge responsibility. The party called for investigation. And you say, fire service want to investigate, and I say, no. Hold on. Calando, hold on. I'm coming to you now. Open the line. Hold on. What did the fire service people say? You're listening to their stuff. They say, yes, the quote-unquote reporter. Fire incident at the residence of former President Weah on September 24th, 2025, about 12:40 a.m., Wednesday morning. The Liberia National Fire Service received a call that the 9th Street residence of former President George Weah was gutted by fire. Upon receiving the call, the second shift crew at Station 1 on Ashman Street immediately departed the station at 12:48 and arrived at the fire scene at 12:54 a.m. While Station 1 was fighting the fire, Stations 4 and 5, along with ambulance, went as backup to Station 1. According to the fighters, the origin of the fire was from the former president's room on the first floor. The fire later spread to the bed, dresser, and window. Mr. Mayor George S. David, commander of the second shift, observed that the current was fluctuating at the time. Observe. Please underline the word observe. You see why the people say no? Because all the thing that imagination, that guessing thing. Observe that the current was fluctuating at the time of the combating of the fire. How do you know the current was fluctuating at that time? To know that something is fluctuating is you are there and you're seeing it. Fire on, the building is burning. The current can be fluctuating. At that point, there is no fluctuation. Fluctuation means it goes off and come off. At that point, also, there is caution taken. They will move in immediately and cut off the breaker, and then the entire place is dark. So it can be fluctuating. You see why CDC authorities say no, fire service, etc. Because you ain't know it. You people not school in it. You ain't get any scientific knowledge. You people ain't school in anything. Your responsibility to just wear morning and just run around. We are. Look at the people report. Say the current was fluctuating. You weren't there to see the current fluctuating. The current was fluctuating at the time of combating the fire. You see, when they were combating the fire, the current was fluctuating. The current, then they say, the team believe. That means they're not too sure. They're guessing. The team believe. They're not scientific. To be scientific is to be exact by your training. The team believe that the cause of the fire was a result of electrical shock. So when the other people look at the whole thing at Capitol building, they say the Capitol building is something that electrical shock. The government said no, they're not electrical shock. Greg Ecomo said, look at the smoke over the building, the deep smoke, so that awesome. What happened from that day? Fire service, they put them down. Then they say the fire was extinguished at 1:20 a.m. and the team departed the fire scene at 2:03. That means 3 after 2 in the morning. On Wednesday morning, September 24th, the fire investigators went to the 9th Street residence of the former President George Weah to investigate and establish the actual cause of the fire, but they were denied entry in the compound. They were told that they will be contacted when the need arises. Up to the release of the statement, the Liberia National Fire Service is yet to receive a call. No call going to you. No call, absolutely. You ain't know nothing. You ain't get no idea. Everything you put in your statement, a guessing thing. Amen. So Daniel Sano, that's it. Where the guy? Where is the veteran journalist?
This government assigned security to the former president's house. This government is capable of bribing any of its security to plan any evil in the former president's house. This government has done so many things that have questioned the credibility of the president. They have manipulated the law. They have manipulated security. The president has interfered with investigations of other issues that we know of. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example. If a former president, the police should go there to verify. Let them come out and say that fire incident is a lie. Have they gone there? What happened to President Weah's house? It is not party chairman house. It is not speaker house. It's not NSA director house. It is the house of a man who was just the chief executive of the country. It is the house of the man who was just president of the Republic of Liberia. We are talking about someone who held the mantle of the country. That's the person we are talking about here. It is not just any obscure person. But in fact, I believe that our United Party is responsible for this, I think the statement issued by CDC is very weak, and I think they need to beef up that statement. It need to be augmented to be more pointed towards the government. Since George Weah left power, there have been antagonism against him. Let's talk about the airport. His own VIP launch that he made, that he renovated, that he built, of Joseph Boyka refused to let him in there. This man is returning to the country, and the police have the audacity. The police have the audacity, without any iota of respect, to fire shots. This man is on a threat. And let me just tell you something. Why are you on a threat? The United Party and this government knows that George Weah is going to be president again. They know that he is the man who has the mantle for the largest and the most fundamentally rooted political party in the country. So by eliminating his life, they know that CDC will go in obscurity. So there are so many reasons why anybody can believe that the government has hands in this thing. This man was president. The issues concerning this man should be priority number one. And that is the kind of posture our government should have. It's not somebody who you can just beat by the hand or just, wipe your nose.
So fire service, that's it there, yeah? You learn common sense. You try to upgrade yourselves. You people are excited, receiving trucks. You parading with trucks all over the place, but you don't have the ability to do any investigation. Nobody going to entrust you with anything to conduct investigation. No, you don't have the capacity. You don't have the capacity. Moreover, your government has done terrible things to this man, George Weah, former president of the Republic, who in their rational self, after you have intimidated, you have aroused, you have done all kinds of things to the one man as if he is a foreigner, will allow you, government people, to go in his compound to do investigation. What if you plan something there? Look what you did at CDC headquarters. You think the people stupid? You saw you broke the man's headquarters down. With no remorse whatsoever, you justified the destruction of it. Now fire got at the man's house. And you expect the same people who broke down his headquarters, the same people who in his headquarters, they said they found gun. Today they can't prove how they found those guns. They said CDC people had gun. They said they saw ammunition. They said they saw grenade. The same people goes to Weah house. They will not say that we found gun in Weah's house. We found bomb here. We found bomb that. You think the people stupid? Nobody around the world will ever do that. Entrust their lives with their enemies. If George Weah allows that and anything happen to George Weah, God in heaven himself will get vexed with George Weah. Because the Bible says use wisdom. God said use wisdom. Don't entrust your life with your enemy. They've shown you all of the signs. The only thing they have not done and they want to do it is to get rid of you. So how can you allow them into your place to conduct investigation? You put the fire off. Fine, go. Why did you return? Why you want to return the next day to put fire off? Your responsibility is to put out fire. No one needs fire service to conduct any investigation. You've done your part, which is to put the fire off. Thank you. So you leave it now. There is nothing there that you need to do to quote unquote conduct investigation. Take your investigation to Capitol building. You can conduct investigation, but they marginalize you in Capitol building investigation, or ASA, as they say. Why you are not fully involved? Why you did not issue a single report, a single sheet? You did not release it on Capitol building incident. You were marginalized. Why did they marginalize you as fire service? Because you don't have the capacity. They don't trust you. Then that we are his people more entrust you, his political opponent. You're afraid of the man. You know that he's coming back 2029. You know that under no condition, under no circumstances, It can never ever happen that you can defeat George Weah 2029. You know that very well. The signs are clear. You ask God in heaven, he will tell you that man coming back. You ask all the people in heaven. You go and consult the two best medicine women in the world, Bale Wule and Nadi Muna. They will tell you, George, we are coming back. Peter Mutharika, he was there. He back. John Dramani Mahama, he was there. He's back. Donald Trump was there. He back. And we can go around the world. We will set that history again, just like his colleagues. That's why you people are afraid of. You know that very well. You share the show, people. You share it as many times as you people can. Let the people around the world know. And you keep dropping in the basket. This is a warfare. It's not easy. We're forcing them. We're battling them. Hey, it's going against them. They're trying to do something. We'll bring it to you this weekend. If not this weekend, next week. So keep dropping in the basket. Please, let's work together. 0555 885 885. The orange number, local number 0777 017 885. They're not going to entrust you. Ask yourself, you Daniel Sino, you sat down there. You knew, you are aware that fire service was marginalized. Why you didn't go to information ministry and say why you're marginalizing fire service in the Capitol building investigation? You sat down here, the people brought investigators from out of the country. You were not even part of them on the ground. They did not allow you fire service to go close to the people. They came and they did their own all by themselves and they left. You fire service, you did not do anything. What a shame and disgrace. Your own government didn't trust you. Then now we should come and trust you to do investigation? Can't talk, but we went back the next day to do investigation. Who knows why you were carrying back the next day to pull in the compound? You went CDC headquarters. You say, yeah, you can see we have weapon, we found gun. You can see we found bomb. You can see we found ammunition. There's one George Weah. As if we are stop you from existing on earth. They want George Weah, you're against. And when you're against somebody so much, God in heaven can go against you on behalf of that person. No wonder we're seeing all these things around us. No wonder. Chief, you keep your thing, yeah? Investigation will go on. But nobody from the government can never, ever be entrusted. You want to exterminate somebody, then they will come and tell you, yeah, can't investigate. The next thing you will not say, we found 15 pieces of AK-47 in George Weah. George Weah, the popular man, a global icon. And you know how it will go all around the world. And even other people will not even believe that. But you will use it to think that you can tarnish his reputation. You will not go fire service, you will not go inside and say, we found gun in this other place. We found ammunition in this place. And you can. That elementary thing you did at the people headquarters. You're brave, eh? Let me bring your Calando, man. They say Calando's truck, eh? Calando truck was carrying drug. That's what they said. Let me just allow you be aware of it. Then we open the line, we take few calls, and then we are out. What Calando has to say?
1977, 3,000 gallons, a total of 4,000 gallons. These products were not even purchased from our company. They were purchased from Petrol Trade. I repeat.
The product was purchased from Petrol Trade.
From Petrol Trade.
So how did your truck,
That's it. So that is the mainstream myself one because Petrol Trade also got their own trucks. Had the product from Petrol Trade, 500 gallons and 3,000 gallons, total of 4,000 gallons, got into our truck that is supposed to be packed. Well, according to Cassie's a distributor, this man was looking for trucks. That's how they gave our truck to take this product.
The Petrol Trade man?
No, well, there's another agent for petrol trade. He talked with this Cassie guy.
Who is Cassie?
Cassie is a distributor. He's a distributor of petroleum products. You know, we are all, more especially, we are all fighting drugs. Since the harm drugs going to our young future leaders of the country. And as you know, in fact, if you go to the SKD Boulevard, my gas station is being used by the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency as their headquarters to get rid of all the guys who have been using the swamps as nettles.
So every day they bring it out different consignment of drug every day. Yeah, I see why Bernie Spear say they think we are stupid. Okay, so those are the pointouts. Let's go as quickly as we can. You don't want to explain history. You go straight in less than a minute. Beyond that, you are off. Just go straight to the point, and then you off. Let me take as many as you can. So Weah is upbeat. He's safe, sound. Discussions are ongoing. The construction of the party's headquarters. In a couple of hours, dates, you'll get the full information. So he's coming back. Yeah. All right. So let's go now. Where is the man? Let's go. Hello there. Okay, you went off. So we go this way. Hello.
Yes, Andrew, how you doing?
Yeah, fine.
You can't go, man. Now, for my enter, I'll come back here to go do an investigation.
Okay.
When you see, oh, found drugs here, we saw armed there.
Chief, we finished all that one there, man. They can't do it. They're not going. They're not going for investigation. But they're not going for Hey, my man, they're not going for investigation. The post said no. Then how you say the post will not enter? You don't hear the thing at all?
And follow move. Hello,
Chief. You ready? Then let's go to another person, man.
Okay, then later.
Hey, you on the air. You just saying hello. The person say hello. It means you on the air.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Yes, good afternoon.
I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I call from a down coast Hill, Western community. Mr. Andrews, as I start and listen to you, and listen to Daniel Samuel recording, and the report from the fire service, I'm telling you that something is fishing here. Something is smelling here. In my mind, the government knows fire there. The government is squarely responsible for that fire. That's why they are playing the diversionary tactics. Why are they rushing? The issue was the fire case. Or the capital building case. They were not rushing at this. Why is government releasing a statement on investigation?
No money.
The government is very aware and they want to have something. But God is exposing them. And I know President Weah will not allow them to go to that place. Thank you very much.
All right.
They are squarely responsible for it. Thank you very much, Mr. Andrews.
Thank you too, Spencer. Hello.
Good afternoon, Andrew.
Let's go straight to the point. What is your name?
Yeah, calling from Jefferson. Thank you very much, my brother.
Let's go.
You know that the police are always guilty. Why the time the fire tries to capture building, they don't call their full fire service to do investigation. They go America, they go pay people to do investigation. 10 at time, they report. They now release that report. They torture our brother and sister, our brother in a jail. Some of our brother. When they have that report again, when they put it out, because they trust that fire service, because your fire service, government fire service will trust to go investigate. We call international police, they can investigate the case here. And our brother then to the party follow, that to the president hold are protecting the president, go fight protecting your second people. You all protect every gate, and then fly on the party when that be. You all protect that.
Hello. Hello?
Police.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, I'm alive on the show.
But Chief, that's not man line here, my man. Oh, that's not man line, that women line. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Alexander Sefe calling from Broadview. Yeah, I think you for articulation. You spoke well. Yeah, Mr. Saint Andrew. Yeah. I want to know for you. And Weah will not come back.
Hello?
I see what Weah.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Let's hear you.
Yeah. So I think that funny damn let me ask. The one ask that the government gave police to man our president. Hello?
Yeah.
They say the one that our government get it.
What now?
No, the government that really want to marry security to marry man.
Yeah, you get that. Not all of them. They get some there, but he get a personal security.
Oh.
Yeah, you know that former president my best so the state got to provide security.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
since we have to provide some security to man Eddie. Eddie or this is over. That only 1 year and some months. That is what you're pretty the other. I'm asking that question.
Yeah, no, they get police people there, but we are get his security there. His security then too. You know that former president my best all over the war. Yeah. And you see the time Borain become president, you are in opposition. Yeah, we are getting security. He has state security then manning him. Yeah, even right now, Ellen gets state security too. Yeah, she get police people there escorting her around. But she get her own people too there. We are getting people there. But they get some police people there.
Okay, I'll say that one. That man who's talking over there say, and they brought it around there, they brought it around there. They rain while you're breaking, while you won't rain. They will not break one person. That way, one person for the peace. The way you're doing that, one person wanting the peace. You're in power, you're not only the peace. You're not up for rain, you want to be about this press.
Yeah.
You can't be about by 2 hours. So you're stopping. Thank you, Sir Andrew.
All right, man, Bessie. Have a nice day. Hello.
Sir Andrew, how are you?
I'm fine, I'm fine. And you?
This is Ebi Kali.
Yeah, let's hear you, Ebi.
You know, Gregory Coma is getting into the mud. You are being exposed. You see, Gregory Coma, your days are normal. You gotta be careful. Okay? Why are you being so selective? There's a raping issue here, Sir Andrew. When it comes to the common man, they will just grab you, put you into jail. If the National Police is a court, I think that case will be, the court will decide whether there's evidence. You know, more than will be in jail for now, Sir Andrew.
The Unity Party men, that their interest.
You know, Gregory Coma are being exposed. And Gregory Coma will pay for it. What he's doing is not correct. He's so selective. And that has not been the case. When common men race, they will just go for you and grab you and jail you.
Mm-hmm.
But because he's deputy minister, because his status in society, is that what you're telling me?
Well, Gregory Coleman said it. He said the man, that big man, the government man, that's the reason why all of the publicity associated with it, everything, he said it. That's
and
why
the president who is blundering.
Yeah.
So why he thought there will not be business as usual? Now it's business as usual now.
I mean, you believe Boga is vindictive. Yeah. Okay, Ebi Kale.
My brother, thank you for following me the time, man.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I want someone calling for la party. Say Andrew. There's something confusing me. The fire service people say they not enter. I mean, they say the current was too much in the house. Then the sport method also that the fire people say they enter. Then who should we believe now?
No, they say the water you fluctuating. That means when something go off, the jelly bapping go off. He can.
Yes. They come in. Yeah, we know that one.
That what fire service say in their report. So for that one now, for you to know that one, you must be there. And you see sometimes when you're in a horse, and you can see the leg be going up and down.
Don't happen.
And I want the car fluctuating. They were not there, but they put in a report. They say the current of fluctuating. They went there to put fire off. That means the building was on fire. That's why they ran there to put fire off. So the fire can be blazing, then current fluctuating. It makes sense. It's not connecting.
Yes.
But I want to put in
Then
the
they-
report.
then the spokesman Tuesday, the government spokesman, deputy spokesman Tuesday, that the people say they enter. They have the money to know that all I want the government doing it.
They
You
enter.
ask them for all. You ask them for all. Beginning, then they come through. But they will not enter that all. They enter there. They entering there. They entering there will be people to do that investigation.
Why you call they not
But they're not
entering?
entering there.
Yeah, okay.
They're not entering there before they vote.
Later, the people, how will the people enter? Nobody gave them the right to enter. Then you say they're not entering. You don't understand anything. the party say the president position is the people not entering. They ain't trusting no fire service. Then you say they're not entering that. They're not going to force themselves. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, thank you, Sam. Thanks so kindly for such a unique conversation. My name is Hussein. This is Hussein Kew. I call from Jacobstown. Sam, I listen to the different talking points.
Yeah, just go straight to the point. We're almost out.
Yes, straight to the point, Sam. In fact, let me first of all express my empathy with the former president. Sam, in some of those situations, I think we have to take away some of our sentiments and political feelings.
Go straight to the point, Chief.
That the point I'm going to say, the report from the fire service, they did enter the fence, right, and they extinguished the fire. The report says after they extinguished the fire, the following morning they went there to do a forensic investigation.
But it was but it was not their right to go back and do an investigation. That is a no. Listen. Get simple education. That private place. Listen, yeah, my man. Come on, man. You're what they call there should be interjection. You think you're just be running out of water for now? That private, get simple education. That private residence. It's not a government place. That the government will say because of X, Y, Z. Hello. You are on the air, Chief. Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Ishmael Saya, commonly known as Weah, and I speak from Chief Freeway. Mr. Andrew, firstly, we citizens, we have to carry this identical security that we're calling the president primacy for investigation. Because the people will be here responsible for anything that occurred at the former president era.
Okay.
Because
so that one they taking care of it, yeah? So your little one, they taking care of it. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
This is Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mama Jalo.
Yes, hear you.
Yeah, according to us, if nothing happened to our pa.
No, nothing. Nothing.
Okay, can go.
Yeah, okay.
Because Lana said it will worry me.
No, don't worry. Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Let's
Mama.
go.
Okay. Hello.
Hey, Andrew, how you doing, my brother?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Yeah.
This is my sister on the line.
Yeah, I know. Let's hear you.
Okay, thank you for the discussion. Lord, let's say this to the municipal people. Sam Andrew. How they say fire service there, better. Well, yeah, when they pass them, when they make sense, or when they be God and tell the person, is this a SYZ, right? That today you want for to trust the fire service, what they say, they're not saying no. You carry the poor one, they all park them, there's something that overflow, right? You park them once, and when you go to America, to can't do the checking because you not trust them. Oh, we can't be said, we are, they want trust them, that's not saying no. I think you make a bag around here, there's something that as well as you're more passing around with you, and something that flow there, and so they get you job, but I think first of Weah. But we tell God we are life. They're glad that we are in the country. We are coming back, it's why you come better, that are coming back, that is making your angry, and you will come back. All of us and they came back. The way you be happy in the country, and your team, the poor from where you keep going now, you're mess the ring, you're mess that point, but if you come back to it now, you're lucky, you're taking your leave. He will come back. Thank you.
All right, Dr. Man, CC. So, listen, just so you know this, the private residents, especially you Unity Party people, Emilio has saying, you don't force investigation into a private residence. You don't force investigation. A private residence, the investigation is determined by the people based on a request having understood the nature. The government can say a private residence in Duboro got a fire. Then you say you want to investigate. No. Get that? It's at the request of the people. Government do not insert, do not force itself to investigate. In this situation, that is a private residence. Government people, you all know the thing, a simple thing. If a government official house burn, or here we have a classic example. So why you're not forcing yourself to conduct investigation into the fire at the home of the NSA boss? Why you're not forcing yourself in it? And because that private residence, then why you want flex your muscle on Weah that you should do investigation? Can't talk about fire service went by the next day to do investigation. They refuse them entry into the play. It's not your responsibility. You put up the fire. After that, you pack your load and go. If the people need anything, they will know what to do. They will make that determination. If they need you as the government, they will make that request formally. They are open to investigation. The president's advisors, the scene is open to investigation. The party released a statement. They say forensic international investigation. So you understand that one again? That word they put there. Fire service, you get to know that the people telling you that you ain't get a capacity. They ain't trust you. It makes no sense to entrust a very sensitive situation to an inept, mediocre, elementary, mechanical people. But another thing in the town now, they say, I don't know how they can call it academic credential, academic sonny, eh? They say you should have this, the checking. And it's based on professionalism. Ain't that the reason for that? So fire service does not have that credential to conduct a forensic audit or investigation rather. Chief, then now you can insert yourself, you can force yourself to do investigation into a private residence. Do you know the number of private residents that got a fire? They poke in, look at it. They say you're leafy. They're gone. They say, okay, we'll renovate this side. Send this side damage, no problem. We'll renovate this side, we'll be there until we can finish with this side. Where you have seen in the world, government can force itself to do investigation from fire something in a private residence. Where you have seen it, give me one country in the world that government can force itself. Why you want to force yourself in the main place to conduct investigation? Why you force yourself into the home of the NSA boss that got that fire to do investigation there? Why are you enforcing? Why fire service go there? Let's get fire service preliminary report from the NSA boss house. In a private residence, we are a former president. The private residence there. They can talk about the NS. We went back the next day to conduct investigation. Who called you to do investigation? Nonsense. Where you force yourself to do something. That's why the people suspecting that you have a sinister motive. You put the fire off, then you go sit down. Let the party issue a statement and say, we request the Liberia National Fire Service to do an investigation. Then it will make sense. Your movement there will make sense because you will be at the request and honor the authority with full guidance and courtesy of the authorities of the president's residence. That's how it is done all over the world. The boy may request to you. When you put up the fire, which is your responsibility. But it doesn't say because you put off fire, so you must conduct investigation. You have to understand your role, fire service. It doesn't say when you put off fire, then you must conduct investigation. You're forcing yourself to do investigation in a man's place. So you go drop something here, like while you're there at the party headquarters, the whole world saw it. The other person will go on the other side. Oh, you can. Yeah, you can see it. They say, oh, we found gun. Hey, man. Where that Sonny? Let me go. Where is it? I like the ending of that stuff. Where is it? Let me go home with it. I like the ending. I hope that I can get it. Okay. Yes, I think this is it. I think this is it. I show a scan thing I want to do. I think this is it.
People are looking for good image. You are happy. Our person, just Weah would never ever. Just Weah would never ever. Just Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. Never ever buy in to your tricks. Never ever buy in to your tricks. Just Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. Just Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. Just Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. Just Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. Just Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. Our person, just Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks.
This government assigned security to the former president's house. This government is capable of bribing any of its security to plan any evil in the former president's house. This government has done so many things that have questioned the credibility of the president.
So that's it. Thank you ever so much. That's all the time we've got to be on the show. We're back tomorrow. Join us if you can for the last workday presentation called The Weekend Friday. Thank you ever so much. The news is on at 6. Join us for that, King's Newsroom. And at 6:50, Isiaka, no, he is here on tomorrow, 6:50. At 8 o'clock, you know exactly what it is. I need not tell you. The doctor himself, the Lord himself is in. The teacher is in. Anthony at law, A.B. Weah will face the issues. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. Shalom.